All right, folks, welcome back here to the LA Sparks 365 Network for hour number 2 here of the Guys with the Petition, our Sparks Watch 2014 off-season recap show, folks. If you have not caught the first hour of the show, folks, it should be up sometime soon, I think, on the network page. Go back and rewatch how we basically broke down everything that occurred from the start of the off-season to the very end. But now, as I am joined here tonight, folks, with our two-person crew, Shorty Mamba 24 on Twitter from somewhere in LA County, and Chris Mancy from the Heart Studios up in Anaheim, California. Good evening, everybody. How's it going tonight? I know it's the end of the run for the JV team at Staples Center with the Clippers losing tonight, but other than that, Shorty, how's it been going tonight?
Everything is rocking and rolling pretty good so far.
Very good to hear. Chris, how about yourself? And I know you had some overheat problems with your mobile device. You went and took a nice ice-cold shower to beat the heat, man. So how's it going?
Nothing much, just here, just counting down the minutes until midnight, until it's Friday.
Again, folks, real quick, I kind of hate to do this to the fans out there and add some salt to some wounds out there, but again, folks, I am actually going out tomorrow night because I can't celebrate my birthday with my family on Sunday because I'm going to be at the Sparks Home Opener. We're going to do it tomorrow night, folks, so there's going to be no pregame show tomorrow night, folks, but don't worry, don't why not, because I'm going out to dinner with my family tomorrow night, folks, but post-game-wise, though, we will have our regular schedule following that, so we'll have our post-game show, and the debut of our three new shows, which will be the W Press Buzzer Beater LA and the Fabulous Form. But guys, getting back to our petition campaign, now guys, the aftermath. We're going to talk about everything that led up to this point in time. But again, guys, Shorty, I know that you and Chris missed the press conference because of school or work. But what you guys saw from the highlights, though, I mean, it was a beautiful sunny day in LA. I pretty much broke my Twitter account retweeting all this stuff and making sure that you guys knew what was going on during the course of the day. But Shorty, what do you remember from the press conference, your anticipation and your initial reaction to that press conference at Staples Center with no one better than Magic Johnson?
I mean, when I saw the press conference, I mean, I heard a lot of good things from Magic, stating that, he was willing to, save the team, and he didn't want to see the team leave because he knew, how heartbroken all of the Sparks fans would be if they were to leave and go to the Bay Area. But, yeah, he just talked about, how him and Mark initially had the thought of, buying the team. They were on the plane, on their way from Chicago from a business trip, and that's when Laurel Richie had called Mark and, asked him if he if he was interested in buying the team. So Mark, told her to wait. They'll call back in 3 days. Right there on the plane, Mark asked if Magic wanted to buy the team, so he agreed, and that's when the process of acquiring the team started happening. And he also talked about how, he was willing to spend to win. We all know the WNBA does have a set salary cap within the league, but, Magic talked about, willing to, break the bank to try to build the best team that he could in the league. And last but not least, what I took from, his interview, just the excitement, he had for his new journey, with the team, and, hoping to lead them to the only thing Magic knows, and that's a championship.
Shorty, I'm going to stay with you real quick before I go to Chris, just to ask about his initial reaction. But Shorty, you brought up a good point about Magic, breaking the bank to build a winner. Looking at the offseason real quick, now we know that the Lynx are the favorites again, which is no surprise because they're my favorites too to win the championship. But Shorty, knowing that Magic will spend to bring the best talent to the Sparks, can the Sparks finally overthrow the possible dynasty of the Lynx in the Western Conference this season or sometime very soon?
I say they definitely have a good chance of of challenging the Minnesota Lynx this year. I mean, they still have all their pieces still intact, and also they brought in something that I've been waiting for them to bring in for years, and that was an actual quality bench. I mean, yes, Magic did, break the bank by acquiring some high salary players and some, high salary talent in uh, Arminty Harrington and Candace Wiggins. I can't add Sandrine Gruder to that list because she's still on a rookie contract. But with those two, bringing them in, I mean, I'd say LA on paper has one of the best benches they have had in years. So finally, with them retaining their starting lineup and also bringing in a deeper bench, I'd say they do have the pieces to challenge Minnesota this season.
Chris, over to you. Now, I know that you were very bummed about missing the press conference, but I did my best, man, to keep you updated on Twitter because I know that you have the notification when I do Twitter retweet. So I did my best to keep you informed while you were, at your, shift, your work shift that day. But Chris, what you saw when you got home from work? You rewatched the press conference. What did you take away from the press conference, and what was your initial reaction about it?
Just great. Magic Johnson buying another team. Even though he has the Dodgers, he's not worried about buying another team to save the Sparks, the little sisters of the Lakers in LA. And, yeah.
Shorty, back over to you on this one. Again, we know about Magic acquiring the Sparks on February 4th with this press conference at February 5th, ironically in front of his statue at Staples Center on the Star Clock that I'll be seeing in 48 hours or so coming up here tomorrow on Sunday night against the Mercury and stuff. But, Shorty, I mean, looking back at the press conference again, just a great day. President Ritchie, said a lot of good things about Magic. And Shorty, do you think at all that perhaps Magic's background, not just with the Lakers and his 5 rings, but his background, though, of him going to the Sparks games at the Forum in the 90s, getting to Staples Center at all, do you think that at all Magic's experience as a Sparks fan perhaps may have been another reason why he possibly bought the franchise as well?
I do believe, his longtime connections with the Sparks, did aid in him acquiring the team. Also, because he's just a big, notable name. I mean, anybody know who Magic is. Legendary Laker, legendary NBA player, and definitely one of the greats to ever do it. So to have his name attached to minor leagues such as the WNBA is definitely a great thing to see. Also, not just him alone, but the ownership as a whole, is a pretty big ownership with notable names and also very deep pockets. As everyone should know, Magic Johnson's net worth is $500 million, while Mark Walters' net worth is $1.5 billion. So to finally have an ownership with deep pockets, was definitely good for the league, and having that having a stable ownership that's willing to take over, the team and keep them afloat.
Chris, do you at all believe that with Magic and his wife Cookie going to so many games at the Forum, watching Lisa Leslie dominate in the early 2000s, when they won their titles against Charlotte and New York in 01 and 02, do you think at all, Chris, that his experience and his interest as a fan of the team possibly was another reason why he bought the franchise as well?
Yeah, I think that's why he bought the team, since he was a big fan of the Sparks, going to games back when he was a kid and everything, and I think that's why he bought the Sparks.
Chris, Magic really wasn't a kid when he was going to the Sparks games. He was up in his age just to clean up on Woodmansey again, but I get where you're coming from, though, as well, bro. Chris, going to you for all the wrong reasons on this one is something that occurred the night of our long special on the Mac 94 YouTube channel, which was our After Dark Sparks coverage, where Euster pulled a Chris Kamen and fell asleep live on the air. Chris, talk about what we went through, though. Not just you and me, but even Shorty can chime in too when we get to her, man. About the strain on the body and mind going through this entire 35-day gauntlet, you know, spreading the rumors like wildfire, no pun intended, to what's going on down here in San Diego. But Chris, talk about it, man, because you're the guilty party here, man, of falling asleep live on the air.
Yeah, just because mostly during that campaign and everything, I mostly went to bed like around, I want to say sometimes like 2 or 2:30s, I want to say sometimes 3, because spreading the word about the petition, getting around to everyone, and yeah, just until I get it run.
Shorty, what about yourself? Because, I mean, Chris and I were up till about those graveyard hours, you know, midnight, 1, 2, 3, or one time, folks, I was up till 4 a.m. trying to get some people to sign. But Shorty, what about yourself? I mean, because I know that you've got, you know, college, you know, you got some classes that you go to during the course of the day. What about yourself during that 35-day span?
If I could recall, you know, I was just up. You know, I couldn't stay up late, but you know, I was just making my rounds through the day, trying to get anyone and everyone to, you know, sign and show their support to the team, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Shorty, did you ever tell anybody, you know, your family, who just went crazy when the Clippers lost to the Thunder right now at Staples Center? But Shorty, did you ever tell like your family or your friends at all about this petition that was started by 2 guys for the WNBA at all, or did you kind of keep it internal?
Yes, I told my family about it, and I also got my sister to sign the petition, and I told another friend from school who's in my class. I told him about the petition, but he had some other stuff going on, so he couldn't get to sign the petition. But he was willing to show his support, and what was the great thing about him is that he is not in particular a WNBA fan, but you know, he had heard the news and he was so saddened by what happened, so he was willing to show his support and help support the cause.
That sounds like my tag team partner going with me on Sunday night. That'd be my dad, folks, going to the Sparks game on my birthday. But Chris, what about yourself? I mean, I know that you've got a good following of friends at Goodwill, at your job site there at Macleod's Thrift Shop up there in Santa Ana. But did you tell anyone at all, family, friends, about this petition at all?
No, but like after I told people, and they don't even think I did. They think I'm crazy and everything.
Well, showing the petition that your name's on it is all I can say for that one. As far as I go, yeah, the only family member that knew about this was my mom, because she's the lone person that actually watches the WNBA games with me, folks. In case you're wondering, she actually sat on the couch with me and watched the WNBA draft a few weeks ago. She sat through all 3 rounds, considering that actually happened, but that really did happen, folks. My friends, of course, folks, knew about it because they saw it on Facebook and stuff, and you know, something with it. But Chris, I'm going to go back to you on this one. Now we know about, you know, that we had predominantly WNBA fans, Chris, but what about the efforts of you and me, Chris, to pull non-WNBA fans, like Angels baseball fans, some YouTube sports cars legends, man, to have them sign our petition? I mean, how cool was that? And did you think that would happen at all, man, where we would get non-WNBA supporters of this petition?
No, I didn't think that would have happened, but it did.
Shorty, I know that you friends that were outside, that weren't WNBA fans, that would have supported it. I mean, just trying to think of a few other things to discuss here, but you know, stuff included here at this point in time is, I mean, Shorty, you know, Chris seems to, you know, not be able to even talk about the petition because he's still like shell-shocked about the petition playing a small role in keeping the franchise in LA. Sort of even after all these days, even after the months that the petition's been closed on change.org, I mean, is it still like fresh in your mind that this petition played a small role in keeping the Sparks in Los Angeles at all?
It does. I mean, it still plays in my mind. I think about it daily, not constantly, but just sometimes. It's always in the back of my head because the situation is always in the back of my head. I always think about, the what ifs. What would have happened if Magic didn't step in to save the team? What would have happened if, they would have been sold to Joe LaCobe and moved to the Bay Area, how things would have played out, or if no one was interested in taking the team at all, what would happen to the franchise and the league, possibly having a dispersal draft. So with all those factors playing in, yeah, the petition is always on my mind.
Chris, I know that you and I, it weighs heavy on our shoulders because we're the creators of this bad boy, man. But I need you to say something at least, man, about this, man. Just go from here.
What?
Go from here. I need you to say something about this.
Just unbelievable. Doing the Sparks petition. Thought it wasn't gonna get nowhere. Just like at least probably like 10 signatures. Not gonna get anywhere around. No one's probably gonna retweet it, help us out. No Sparks players, alumni, media, posting articles, and we got all that.
Now, Shorty, I'm going to go to a serious topic here. Now, if you were to go back about 5 years to 2009, Shorty, do you at all believe that perhaps an effort like this could have possibly saved the Houston Comets and/or the Detroit Shock at all, Shorty? Or what do you think would have happened for a franchise like that had that same issue? Do you think at all, Shorty, that nowadays, if it happened again, that there would be an effort like this to keep a franchise in its city, in any sport basically nowadays at all?
Yes, I do believe there would be an effort just like this to happen sometime in the future, because going back to what Laura Ritchie said during the article with the LA Times, she said that several other owners were in contact with her about possibly taking over the franchise, and also they have been in talks with her in the past about starting an expansion teams or possibly taking over other teams that may fall on financial hard times. So yes, I do see another outcome like this in the future, because there are more interest in the league outside of Joe LaCobe.
Shorty, I'm going to stay with you on this one real quick. I'm going to go to a different topic here real quick. Covering this game for 10 years, I've pretty much seen a lot of the franchises that have folded and stuff like that. But Shorty, I think the one that really, really saddened me when they did fold, I think a lot of people would agree, was when the Comets did go down in flames. Detroit was right up there, as was Sacramento, but I still think that the heaviest one that I think I couldn't deal with for a while was seeing the Houston Comets demise, because they were the first and still are the only dynasty of the league, 4 consecutive championships. So many great players, like Tina Thompson and Cynthia Cooper, and above all, they used to have the Sparks trainer, Courtney Watson used to be with the Comets too and stuff like that. But Shorty, in your mind, which franchise that demised, still weighs heavy on your mind even to this date right now, of those franchises that did demise back in the early days of the league and even up until now?
I would definitely agree with you about the Houston Comets. One of the cornerstone teams of the league, the very first dynasty of the league, and just to see, how they folded, it was really bad seeing. At least for the league's part, they tried to, find an owner. I'd say the year after the initial owner had, departed from the team, the Comets were the first and the only team to be controlled by the league office until the year after, where the league, could no longer contain the team, and they decided to let it fold. And also, I would say the Detroit Shock was another, bombshell team that sadly had a bad demise. I mean, they were one of the Sparks' most hated rivals within the league, but just to see the way they folded, it was just really, tough to see. And I'd say beyond the Comets, they were the second most winning franchise in the league with 3 titles. All obtained by their former head coach, Bill Laimbeer. So to see them go down in flames also was pretty tough.
And by the way, folks, in case folks you're wondering why the Clippers lost tonight, Tony Romo was in attendance at Staples Center. But Shorty, staying with you real quick, and we wanted to get to this as well here, was we know the day of the press conference when it occurred at Staples Center, Shorty, that Candace Parker was so amped up and so fired up about the Sparks staying, Shorty, that she called into Mark Willard's show with Ramona Shelburne as his co-host on ESPN LA 710 from her bathroom at her Russian Cup celebration with Ekaterinburg, Shorty. I have the interview still on my computer, and it was funny that she was in the bathroom doing it. But at the same time, though, Shorty, she made a lot of great points about, Magic, coming in and saving the day. Because a lot of people looked at him when the Dodgers were up for sale, and what he means to not just the Lakers and LA, but to the entire basketball world, Shorty. What did you make about Candace's interview from her bathroom, above all in Russia, at her Russian Cup celebration, just to talk to the folks back in LA about Magic Johnson saving the Sparks and keeping them in Los Angeles?
Well, number one, I thought it was pretty funny that she was doing an interview in the bathroom, but also you could tell through her voice that she was just so excited, and just hearing her voice, it felt like a weight lifted off of her, because sadly, you could say she didn't know any more than what us fans knew about the whole situation. The players were pretty much left in the dark as much as, the fans were, and only people closely connected to the situation, as in, the league front office and the ownerships that were involved, only knew, the inside and outs of what was going on. So when she finally, did that interview, she was just happy, that a Laker legend came in to save the day and, keep the team in Los Angeles.
Chris, you got the mute button, man, because you're making some background noise back there, so I'm going to go to you on this one, man. But if you caught the interview with Candace Parker on ESPN LA 710, I think I played it for you a couple of times when we were FaceTiming, man, but do you agree, though, Chris, with Shorty, that, hearing her voice, and the rejoicement about Magic by the team, that it felt like there was a big weight lifted off her shoulders, Chris, and like I say a lot, man, do you think, too, that this was probably a time for the fans and the players, Chris, to finally go and finally breathe a sigh of relief for once for the past 35 days?
Yep.
Absolutely. So funny, and at one point where she's in the bathroom calling. Same time though, it's just being all in. Okay, Shorty, we're going to go to you to talk about the big day tomorrow, opening night 2014. Sparks are up in Seattle, 7 p.m. tip-off on Time Warner Cable Sportsnet, Shorty. Well, Chris and I talked about this last night. What I get your take on this too is, what do you think about the Sparks' traveling zoo? They're on the road this year. I believe solely, Shorty, that I think the first time the Sparks play at a opposing team's arena, the first time, not the second or third, but the first time, I truly and humbly believe, Shorty, there's going to be some small ovation because this cannot have happened if Magic didn't buy the team and they wouldn't stay in LA. But I think, though, Shorty, that the fans realize too that they're going to give them that, and I think, Shorty, they're going to give them the applause too, because the fans realize this could have been their own team as well in the same predicament. What do you think?
I'm not sure if they actually will, but it would be great for Storm fans tomorrow to show at least a little bit respect to the Sparks, and at least congratulating them for still being able to be a franchise within the league. So I'm not going to count on it, but it would be great if they were to do it.
I mean, I'm not counting on it fully, but I think, I'm like, 75% thinking about possibly that happening. There's going to be some ovation. Chris, what do you think, though? Do you think the Sparks get cheered, maybe a little bit, perhaps, on their away games, perhaps, knowing about what occurred over the offseason, perhaps at all, or no?
Yeah, I think they'll probably get a little bit cheers in the first time around, and I think the second time around.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a lot, but it's probably going to happen as well. Okay, Shorty, so you know about the big day on Sunday. I'm pretty sure you're fully aware of it, being my 20th birthday, and I'm going to the home opener as well on the 18th against the Mercury as well. Shorty, what are your expectations for this home opener? As far as the crowd goes, we know about the T-shirt giveaway for the first 5,000 people, Shorty. What are your expectations for the upcoming home opener on Sunday night against the Mercury at Staples Center? Lay it all out there first. What do you think is going to occur at this game on Sunday night?
Number one, I am expecting a sold-out arena. Sold out. I think the limit for a WNBA game at Staples is probably about 13 to 14,000. Either one of those ranges, I expect a sold-out crowd. All of Sparks Nation should be there to, support the team and have like a homecoming, for the team and welcome them back to Staples. Considering everything that happened, everyone should be at Staples. And also, I'm not particularly sure if he will be there, but I'm expecting Magic to be in attendance for the home opener.
Shorty, Chris and I have already said that he's going to leave the Dodgers road trip when they're in Arizona to come to the home opener. I think him and Mark will do so because they want to be there for the historic night of their first home opener as the owners of the Sparks. And I think it truly happens. I mean, Chris agrees with me as well, but Shorty, staying with the home opener as well. 13,000 is the max. 13,000 and change is the max for Staples Center for a WNBA game, in case anyone out there is wondering. But Shorty, staying with the home opener, though, Chris and I were kind of wondering aloud as to, why is ESPN2 not covering this game? Because, Shorty, I think you would agree with me, but this is the only remaining rivalry of the past 18 years in the WNBA. So we're kind of wondering, though, as to why is ESPN2 not covering this game on Sunday night? Do you have like any idea as to why, perhaps, or what do you think?
As of right now, I'm not sure why they wouldn't be covering the game. They may have some other matchups that they think might draw better in mind, but I would say this definitely should have been one of the games covered by ESPN2. This game on this date in particular, because I'd say it's going to be a really big thing this coming Sunday.
Come on, Chris. Come on, we told you.
Shorty, I'm going to stay with you one more time here in regards to the home opener here. So you know that I'm going to be there in attendance with my dad. Shorty, who do you at all think celebrity-wise? We know about Magic, possibly there, Shorty, but what A-list Hollywood celebrities do you believe will be there at the Sunday night?
I say possibly Jessica Alba, who was at the home opener last year, who is great friends with Lisa Leslie, by the way. I'd say Floyd Mayweather will probably be in attendance. I'd say he is working his way to be Jack Nicklaus the Sparks. Jack Black, I think, will possibly be in attendance. Also, I'd say Common, the rapper Common, was at a game last year, so he could possibly be in attendance, and he has great ties to Magic as well. And I would say are just freshly put out of the playoffs. I could see a Chris Paul sighting or a Blake Griffin sighting, along with DeAndre Jordan, who has attended Sparks game. teams in the past. I could see them there. Also, if he's in the LA area around this time, Jody Meeks of the Lakers may possibly be in attendance as well. And last but not least, a few of the Dodgers like Matt Kemp, Yasiel Puig. Sorry, I can't pronounce his name that good, but yeah, some of the Dodgers will be in attendance for the home opener.
Close enough, Shorty. Yasiel Puig will be there as well, perhaps as well. Shorty, do you at all think, though, that Magic invites any of his former Showtime teammates out to the home opener or to a game this season? I would have for sure, Shorty, said Michael Cooper, but too bad he's coaching in Atlanta. Magic will see him, and we'll see them in August. But Shorty, any sightings of any ex-Showtime teammates of Magic Johnson at this game on Sunday night?
Yes, I could possibly see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar attending the game. I could see, just throwing this out there, possibly Norm Nixon, possibly James Worthy might be in attendance for the game, and yes, some other Laker legends could possibly be in attendance. Of course, yes, I would say Michael Cooper if he wasn't head coach of the Atlanta Dream right now, but he would definitely be in attendance if he wasn't with the Dream.
Shorty, fast forwarding to August when the Sparks played the Dream at home, do you believe that the Sparks fans will give Coop a standing ovation because of what he did for the Sparks in 2001 and 2002 at all, or does he get the regular visitors treatment? I think he's going to be getting a standing ovation because he won the titles with Magic, in the Showtime era, won the titles with the Sparks in the 01-02 season. So what do you think?
I say he should get a standing ovation, but as to whether he may get one, I'm not sure. I mean, the Sparks fans could possibly treat him as a visitor and boo him even though they shouldn't. I mean, I remember when DMJ, who is a Sparks legend among, all of us, came back to play in Staples as the visitor last year for the San Antonio Silver Stars, and she was given the cold shoulder boos by the Sparks crowd, which I think wasn't right. So I hope they don't do that to Coop. I mean, even with him coming in with the visitors, they should show him the love and respect he deserves.
I think he's going to get it because they know what he did in 2001 and 2002. But, folks, we have run out of time here, and this will conclude our 2-hour special, The Guys with the Petition, our Sparks Watch 2014 off-season recap. For Chris Manstein, for Shorty Mamba 24, I'm Calvin, folks, signing off for the night. We'll see you folks tomorrow night. Post-game show tomorrow night following the Sparks and Storm. But until then, have a safe night. Drive home safely. Thank you all for coming. Good night now. This has been the LA Sparks 365 Network. We are Sparks. We are LA. See you folks tomorrow night with the post-game show and our 3 new shows, Buzzer Beater LA, the Fab Form, and the W debuting tomorrow night. Enjoy tomorrow night, folks, as the WNBA season tips off. See you folks tomorrow night. Bye-bye.